Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. We have a lot of exciting sessions about sales and e-commerce, digital marketing, and many more. Make sure to download the VFairs app on your mobile phone, which allows you to join sessions much easier and via phone. With that, chill for a few minutes and watch our video for exciting reminders before we begin the session very shortly. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to Driving E-commerce Growth and Accelerating E-Business and Digital Transformation Journey in MENA. I am Fatima from Nestlé MENA, and I will be your host for this session. So just before we start, I want to share some house rules to make sure this session has a very smooth flow. Keep an eye on the chat box and make sure not to flood it with spam. So, you can watch important announcements and links on how you can engage with us via slido.com. You may see the chat box for the code to join our session. Now, have your mobile phones on standby to scan the QR codes on the slides and see career opportunities in sales, marketing, and data analytics across all the Nestlé markets across the globe. Great. So let's begin the session. Introducing our inspiring keynote speakers for today, Utku Hasdemir, Head of eBusiness, and Amer Bolbol, Head of eCommerce at Nestlé MENA. With 20 years of experience, Utku is leading the digital transformation journey across the value chain in MENA by discovering future business disruptions and developing digital know-how and competencies. Amer is an experienced e-commerce manager with a demonstrated history of working in F&B industry. He's also a very strong operations professional skilled in negotiation, business planning, sales, marketing strategy, and management. I'm excited to learn from both Utku and Amer about how Nestlé MENA is accelerating e-business and e-commerce across the value chain. With that, Utku and Amer, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Fatima. You can see my screen, right?
Yes.
Amazing. First of all, I would like to thank you all for attending the session. It's a pleasure to be with you all and talk about how we are driving e-business and digital transformation at Nestlé MENA. So I will start by quickly introducing myself. My name is Utku Hasdemir. I've been working for Nestlé for 17 years now. I joined the Nestlé MENA market as a long-term expatriate from Turkey to lead the e-business function as of November 2020. Before taking over the e-business role, I gained significant experience across all the generating and math functions such as sales, trade and shopper marketing, and brand management. I have a PhD degree in business administration with a marketing specialization and lectured marketing and sales management courses in prestigious MBA programs in Turkey. I played basketball at amateur and professional levels for many years. I love taking, editing, and publishing photos and have had a great passion for sailing for the past few years. So our mission is to accelerate e-business across the value chain, to drive consumers down the marketing funnel as quick as possible, close sales, build brand loyalty, word of mouth referral or the buzz effect, and advocacy. In this context, Nestlé e-business strategy consists of 5 main pillars. As part of the first pillar, data and personalization, we aim to create data-powered and audience-driven marketing communication strategies to increase the efficiency and effectiveness of our digital media investments and deliver personalized consumer experiences at scale. Building a solid and comprehensive content operating model to create engaging and impactful digital content is integral to our e-business strategy. We want to step change digital content by taking a holistic approach across all the content typology pillars that we identified, such as prime, evergreen, service-oriented, and adaptive content or moment marketing. We invest in e-commerce enablers such as buy now feature, retail digital media, and lower funnel media activation tools to maximize online sales conversion with a positive return on ad spend or return on investment. And we optimize our brand websites to improve the user experience, and we integrate the value exchange mechanisms to collect first-party data at scale, which is key to our personalization efforts. Last but not the least, we adopt a holistic search strategy that integrates organic and paid search to achieve higher visibility on search engines and e-retailer websites. Well, to illustrate each e-business pillar with a concrete example, I would like to take you through the Maggi full funnel DCO case study, which perfectly demonstrates, from my standpoint, how we personalize our communications across different audience segments through customized creatives. Dynamic creative optimization, or DCO, is a form of programmatic advertising that allows advertisers to optimize the performance of their creatives using real-time data signals and multivariate testing. In this context, we piloted this approach, as you can see on the screen, with our Maggi brand by leveraging the technology interface of Adip, our global preferred DCO supplier, headquartered in London. So before we started building the decision tree and populating the creative variations, we turned to the consumer experience framework, research studies, audience segmentation, and data signals to generate actionable insights. And then we matched each occasion to the corresponding phase or stage of the consumer experience framework. Consumer needs, expectations, and the demand moments form the basis of the long list of occasions, allowing us to create specific scenarios that include the time, the place of consumption, and the mindset. Then each opportunity was attributed to the most relevant consumer segment for more accurate targeting and prioritization. Finally, we invested in programmatic display inventory, activated our audiences with personalized creatives that you can see on the screen based on the consumption occasions, and optimized the campaign leveraging machine learning algorithms. Our performance, as you can see on the right-hand side in this campaign, was impressive. We achieved significantly higher results than the industry benchmarks against key campaign and website engagement metrics. And we are accelerating the DCO journey now by expanding our reach with the participation of other brands and the inclusion of video on demand and social media platforms. Well, Maggi Brand Ambassador Program is a great example of how we recruit micro and nano influencers, grow and nurture them over time, develop and maintain authentic relationships with them, and turn them into our brand advocates to drive word of mouth referrals, the buzz effect, and trigger user-generated content. As you can see on the screen, we brought to life our brand ambassador program for Maggi with co-creations, the Noodles Music Academy in partnership with two famous Saudi rappers, the Maggi Cloud Kitchen Direct to Consume project in collaboration with eCom and Last Mile Delivery platforms, partnership with strategy retailers, and live sessions where our brand ambassadors share their kitchen stories. Please let me show you a short video to better explain what we have done over the past few years to develop Maggi Brand Ambassador Program.
This year, distance separated us as the world around us changed, as trips were cancelled and plans were postponed. But we came together, stronger than all the challenges we faced. Together, we shared stories, lived through the same experiences, and created memories we won't ever forget. Together, we brought ideas to life, building the dream of a healthy future, and we cooked the difference with you. We made ourselves stronger as we communicated and shared ideas, as we found ways to meet and put meaning into innovation. Because despite whatever came our way, our goals never changed. You, your life, and making sure it's filled with health and happiness. So this year, when we talk about health, we aren't just saying it's the most important thing in your life. We're saying it starts with you. Because when we care about our mind and our body, we can care about everyone else through the wonderful little things that make the world a lot bigger. And together, we will continue this journey with the food we eat, the meals we share, and the habits we grow within our family and the people around us. Because when we're far apart, it's love, food, and the love of good food that brings us closer. Let's always cook the difference with Maggi.
I hope you liked the video. Identifying the role of our brand websites and reaching the content in accordance with the strategic content territories, integrating the value exchange mechanism to collect first-party, both the PI and non-PI data at scale, and optimizing the user experience and the user interface play a key role in our eBusiness strategy MENA. In this context, we optimize the Mamami website and position it as the main hub of our online ecosystem to accompany mothers for the first 1,000 days of their journey to motherhood. And descriptive analytics play an important role in making data-driven and faster decisions to optimize our investments in Google search. So in this context, we developed a visually representative dashboard via Google Data Studio, as you can see on the right-hand side. The benefits are as follows. First of all, greater visibility into what's happening daily, weekly, monthly, so each brand team can detect performance drops and act faster based on real-time data. Performance is broken down by keyword category, allowing us to identify what works across the funnel to prioritize our actions and achieve our goals. The market filter allows us to identify which territories are volume drivers, new emerging trends, or growth in certain territories. The flowcharts help us identify which optimization are working with spikes in traffic caused by the tactical campaigns. And last but not least, access granted to all brand managers to enable them to track their performance and progress. So before I give my word to Amer, who's leading the e-commerce sales channel at Nestlé MENA, I would like to share with you a few thoughts that I believe will help you in your career journey if you want to take on an e-business or digital marketing role in the future. First of all, you need to look for all the internal and external resources to invest in your digital know-how and competencies. In this context, the Nestlé eBusiness Academy online learning program has been perfectly equipped over time to give our future leaders the chance to develop their digital know-how and skills in priority e-business models that we identified based upon a customized learning path. And after taking the necessary steps to improve your digital knowledge and skills, always try to adopt design thinking or entrepreneurial mindset, challenge the status quo with groundbreaking ideas, and always be open to pilots. You must accept failure as a learning and build on your strategy using what you learned from past experiences. And to deliver seamless consumer experiences at every stage of the marketing funnel with authentic, immersive, and impactful digital content, you need to put consumers and shoppers at the heart of everything you do. And finally, please remember that data is a growth engine. In this context, use data analytics to predict the future trends and make informed decisions in the VUCA world at the face of uncertainty. So we come to the end of my presentation. I hope you enjoyed it. Now I want to leave the floor to Amer. Thank you for your attention and patience.
Hello, everyone. So let me quickly start by introducing myself. So my name is Amer Bolbol. I've been in Nestlé for more than 10 years now. Yeah, moving on to the next slide, sorry. So I've been with Nestlé for 10 years, more than 10 years now. I started as a salesman handling Carrefour, actually one of the biggest retailers in the region. And then I moved to the digital acceleration team in the Switzerland. This is a mission that Nestlé does globally, where it really talks about digital and e-commerce acceleration globally. And this was part of a ninth mission. And then I came back to Nestlé Middle East and North Africa, and I'm currently leading on e-commerce. So today we're going to talk about two different activities that we've done, which is technically driving e-commerce growth in MENA through engaging activations and content. And I'm going to share two examples on each. Going to the first example in terms of the activations, I would like to start with a question. So what are we doing in terms of gaming on e-commerce, and is it enough? Now, I'm sure for all of the gamers out there, you would agree that it's not enough. The gaming industry has been growing massively recently, and there's a massive opportunity to really position our brands with gamers and to really penetrate the gamer community. So just to give you some background on gaming in the Middle East, so it's actually a $6 billion industry. It's been growing double digits for the last 5 years. And UAE, so United Arab Emirates and Saudi Arabia, have actually the highest number of gamers per internet users globally. And that's a very important data figure to really showcase the opportunity that is available when it comes to gamers. So moving on to the next slide, one of the examples that we've done, if you actually look at what do gamers really look for when they want to what do gamers look for when they actually go into the gaming community. So there's 4 main things. The first one is they care about the platform, obviously. The second one is which game that they want to play. The third one is the hardware, right? We all know the accessories that gamers use. And then the last one is nutrition. And that's something that we've seen recently, where gamers are actually becoming more conscious about what they eat and what they consume. In the example that we have, we're going to focus on the game, hardware, and nutrition. And we actually partnered with PUBG, one of the leading games in the region, and Lion breakfast series. So moving on to the next slide. The campaign actually revolved around giving free crate boxes worth $10,000 and reaching 10,000 crate boxes with every single purchase of Lion breakfast cereals. As you can see, the campaign did extremely well. Looking at the banner impressions, so we actually managed to reach more than 7 million people online. Also, we had push notifications that reached more than 700,000. And of course, looking at the sales uplift, we actually saw a very high sales uplift, which is almost more than double in terms of people picking up this program. Going to the next slide, sorry. So also we capitalized on this with World Gamers Day, where we actually gave out, and we partnered with Logitech. We gave out a headset as a raffle draw for people to excite the gamers community with of course a push notification. And we partnered with one of the biggest gaming offline stores in the United Arab Emirates, which is GK Games, where everybody that purchased anything in the store, we actually gave them a free Lion pack series. We targeted more than 260 samples. This is the first time we do this, and it was more of a test and learn approach. Now, one thing to mention from these two campaigns is that everything was free of charge. So today, obviously, you're giving out a free gift to the shoppers online, and so we got all this positioning for free. And also, when we partnered with Logitech and with PUBG, they actually were excited to partner with a brand like Lion, and to really get that awareness and to reach their users and their gamers. Moving on, we also focused a lot on different types of these learnings and these giftings or premiums or raffle draw. And this is something that we've seen in the region here in the Middle East and North Africa. People really get excited when they get a chance, to win, whether a mobile phone, earbuds, a smartwatch. And this is something that has been embedded in the strategy of our brands, which really drives engagement and drives higher sales for the product, and of course entices the shoppers that you really end up giving them gifts during the process. Moving to the next slide. Now, that's in terms of the campaigns that we do. We're going to also talk about content. So how are we really, optimizing our content for e-commerce? One thing that is very clear, and we always need to remember, is that today on e-commerce, the shoppers and the users don't get a chance to physically feel the product, right? So they're actually buying an image of that product. So it's a must that the content is really up to par and you're creating engaging experiences online. And the next example that we're going to show is an example that we did similar to what Utku presented about Maggi. So this is during the lockdowns, during COVID times, where we actually, tried to do something to uplift the spirit of people at home and really get them into the different ways of preparing
Cooking,
food.
the language of love, took a whole new meaning last year. Forced to stay indoors, Dubai's eat-outers renewed their interest in cooking at home. It became a way to relax, feel inspired, and most importantly, find connection with the foods they love. We created a place where they can get everything they need to feel excited about home-cooked food. Farm to fork inspiration with Maggi, a brand store on Amazon filled with fresh ingredients and fresh ideas. As the homemakers, mums take mealtimes seriously. Nothing was going to change that. And to recreate the excitement of recipes and flavors of outdoor dining, we brought exciting possibilities to life on screen. Aimed at both seasoned cooks and those figuring their way around the kitchen, our homepage banners shouted about our hearty Maggi ingredients that offered the promise of taste and variety to grace her kitchen cupboard. She was able to easily navigate products seamlessly as we translated the ease of cooking with Maggi to the shopper journey. From the fiery flavors of Mexico to the creamy comfort of Italian pasta, all from the comfort of her kitchen. We showed her Maggi has it all. Even the best cooks can run out of ideas. Just click to enter a portal of Maggi education on each category. We provided both utility and inspiration through delicious recipes. Here are the creative solutions that make life a little easier and tastier. Our brand store put the spark of joy back into shopping for home-cooked meals with Maggi on Amazon.
So I hope you all enjoyed the video. It's just, you know, an attempt to really be close to our shoppers and consumers and really try to you know, uplift their spirit, like I mentioned. So so moving on. So these are the two examples that I had to really share. Now I'm sure a lot of people talk about, you know, how far will e-commerce go, and for everyone that's looking to really, you know, work in an e-commerce department. Some of the figures that we have and what we're looking for in the Middle East and North Africa, obviously based on auditors, based on internet penetration and e-commerce penetration. If you look at the figures in the next slide, you'll actually see that previously in 2019 until 2022, this year, we've actually been tripling the growth year on year. From overall sales in the region, we reached almost 4% of our total sales. And then going to 2024, we're expecting a double-digit growth every year, so 50% every year growth, and then reaching almost 7% of total sales in MENA. And then if we go to 2030, we will actually see, you know, again, a double-digit growth, but obviously lower than previous years as the base is becoming big, until 2030 to really, you know, continue growing 28% year on year and to reach, you know, a massive 16% of the full landscape. So today, 16% of all the sales experience and expertise in the coming 8 years, you know, e-commerce backgrounds and e-commerce roles will be needed, and this will obviously open the door and a lot of opportunities moving forward. So that's the end of my slides as well. And so thank you for everyone who joined, and we hope that you enjoyed the sessions.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Utku and Amer, for the super insightful session you just delivered. I think now it's time for us to take a few questions from the audience. Let's see what we have. We've got a lot of interesting questions. All right, so give me a second. So, okay, the first question, it has two parts. Utku and Amer, you can answer however you see fit. So how is digital acceleration in MENA market different from other markets? That is part one. And what are the victories and challenges in digital acceleration and in e-commerce?
Yeah, Utku, if you want to take the digital part, or I'll start with the e-commerce part.
It's up to you, but I can
Sure.
take over the digital transformation part. So it's a great question. First of all, there is a program, or there is a framework that we initiated by. So it's been endorsed by our zone MENA, and we tried the framework, which is called Digital by Design, and the ultimate objective is to orchestrate the digital transformation journey along the value chain, identifying and validating the business needs, and allocating and managing resources. So we have 4 main pillars. First of all, leveraging data to drive business value. So we want to step change our data analytics capabilities. We want to deliver personalized consumer experiences along the funnel, and we want to deploy the sales recommendation engine in order to generate sales uplifts, sales alarms, or automated orders. So when it comes to second pillar, so first-time quality and reporting and automation of decision support tools to improve efficiency, it's mainly related to the finance part. Creating a competitive edge in manufacturing via digital enablers, the connected workers, data-driven insight and process mastership and customized production, which includes robots, cobots, or end-of-line automation is part of these pillars. And finally, the last pillar that we identified is increasing safety, quality, and efficiency in supply chain operations. So I can leave the floor to Amer for the reminder.
Thank you, Utko. So in terms of the challenges for e-commerce and how is MENA different? So obviously, the Middle East and North Africa, the maturity and the infrastructure is very different in all the countries, right? So you have cities like Dubai, which is very advanced. Internet penetration is very high, and logistically the country is not big. So really facilitating e-commerce, getting a delivery within 20 minutes, that's something that's very doable and it's easy. But then if you look at other countries, you have countries obviously like Syria and Iraq, where they currently have e-commerce. So if for example, Delivery Hero actually are active in Iraq, but obviously you would know that these are war-torn countries. The infrastructure is a bit difficult, and you have the risk factor on your day-to-day driving around such cities. In terms of also capability building, I think e-commerce in MENA is relatively new. So if you look at the caliber that you have in MENA, also we see a lot of changes. We see people coming from different markets. Obviously, e-commerce in the US or Europe, has been around on FMCG for more than 25 years, I would say. Whereas in MENA, it's a bit under the 5-6 year mark. So obviously, with time, with more expertise coming and more learning happening in our region, because don't forget, we have Amazon in UAE, we have Amazon in Saudi Arabia, we have Amazon in Egypt, same thing for Delivery Hero. So we have a lot of global customers that have actually opened up shop here, and that is helping in really accelerating e-commerce knowledge and shopping for e-commerce online.
Perfect. All right. So next question, I think that's again for you, Amer. What will be the future of e-commerce, and what's your view on live stream shopping?
So honestly, on live stream shopping, I don't have a lot of insights. I don't know if Utko, you have anything, but obviously looking at the future of e-commerce. So one thing that we've seen in the last year is that something we call quick commerce is really evolving, right? So people are becoming more and more, all of us are becoming more and more impatient, and we want the delivery within 20-30 minutes, and that's something that we're seeing evolve very quickly. And then from a technology point of view, virtual reality, the metaverse, there's a lot of things that you see online, and how people could sit and put the virtual reality headsets on, and then they can go into this world of shopping, looking at the stores around them, and then purchasing their products and getting them delivered. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of evolution when it comes to online shopping, and I guess we're going to have to wait and see what new things come for us.
Okay, lots of interesting questions here, by the way, and a lot on e-commerce especially. And another question is, what is the roadmap and quick wins for digital e-commerce in MENA in the next 2 years?
Sorry, Fatima, can you say that question again?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So what is the roadmap and quick wins for the digital e-commerce in MENA and in the next 2 years?
Okay, so you're asking for, so the person that's asking this question wants the secrets. So the roadmap, of course, is the one thing that I mentioned is it's very important in terms of the people, right? So in the end, the business is based on the people and based on the capabilities of everyone, based on the knowledge. So if you take me, for example, I had no e-commerce experience, right? And I was part of an offline team, and I got the chance to go to this digital acceleration mission globally in Nestlé. So that's one thing that we need to focus on, is the people and how ready they are for this digital transformation. And then obviously partnering with all of our partners, such as the Amazons and learning a lot from what we see in other advanced markets, because as we said, e-commerce is a bit late. So you know, mixing everything together, and the example that we shared also from Maggie, also our if you want, our assortment in the region is very specific. The categories that we have are very specific, very close to our consumers here, and that's something that's very key, where we need to really, and it's part of a strategy pillar, right? When you talk about, you know, your portfolio and your assortment, you have to give something that is really relevant to the online shopper. And we know the online shopper is a bit a younger shopper than the offline shopper, let's say. So we need to stay very relevant when it comes to what these people want. And one of the examples, if you actually look at gaming, that's something that is integrated in the coming 2 years when it comes to e-commerce. We want to focus more on gaming. You know, I'm sure there's a lot of gamers out there. I'm a gamer myself, and this is something that it's very important to stay close to understand and to reach these shoppers.
All right. Okay. So next question, I think it'll be more for you, Utku. Can you give few examples of emerging technologies and disruptive business models that will change the future of brand building and marketing communications?
Yeah, I can count many, but I think the simple answer to a question. So if I were to choose a business model relying on emerging technologies that I believe will disrupt the future of brand building and market communications, I would say agile marketing. So first, businesses need to set up real-time analytics to determine the signals at various points of contact. They need to experiment and quickly achieve the validated learning. And then the next is to establish decentralized, autonomous, and empowered agile teams that feed on the insights generated by the analytics platform. Then what you do is the team make multiple product or campaign configurations or reiterations based on a flexible product platform. And by saying product, I mean, it might be an actual product, it might be a UI, UX optimization, it might be a campaign idea, whatever. And they run rapid experimentation in a concurrent process instead of the conventional waterfall approach from ideation to prototyping. And upon testing each configuration with real-time acceptance analysis, they will determine which one brings the most favorable outcome. And finally, in conducting the entire agile process, companies must embrace an open innovation mentality in which companies can leverage both internal and external resources. When it comes to the internal resources, we call it intrapreneurship. And when it comes to the external resources, so the startup outreach programs where you can reach out to the promising startups and they can address the questions that you raise. So instead of setting up or building innovation labs or R&D centers, so you can leverage these startups. So that might be the answer to this question.
Okay, great. I mean, I think one last question, and because a lot of people talk about metaverse. So one of the questions we got was, how can brands rewrite marketing rules for the metaverse?
Wow, that's a difficult one. I'll just share my humble opinion. From my standpoint, so firstly, we are at the infancy phase of consumer engagement with the metaverse. And in some ways, some critical components of marketing, such as creating authentic, immersive and impactful brand experiences in the physical world, still remain in the metaverse. On the other hand, the application of these components or the elements in the metaverse can be very different. So in this respect, the active engagement of consumers in the metaverse will require its own evolving recipe for success in the future. And from my perspective, brands should first define their metaverse marketing objectives before embarking on this journey. Reaching new consumers, raising awareness, generating positive sentiments, or increasing loyalty can be some of these marketing goals, but the primary goal of the brands shouldn't be driving sales directly, since the sales of virtual items, such as NFTs, are still far smaller than sales of physical ones. And as a next step, I think they need to identify the platforms, because it's really scattered for the time being. So we have different platforms such as Decentraland or Roblox or Horizon World that provides I mean, they need to define, identify these platforms that provide the best opportunity and the brand fit. And consumers tend to see the brands in the metaverse as innovative. So therefore, the bar for delivering innovative experiences is really high. So that's something that you need to take into consideration. And the companies need to determine the ideal balance between advertising, the immersive experiences. It can be games, virtual stores, events, or sponsorships, and the real-world activations to complement the metaverse. And finally, I think they should rethink to measure marketing. They should rethink to measure the marketing success, and alongside the conventional digital performance metrics, they might need to define new engagement metrics, such as what actions consumers avatars take, or how much time they spend in the virtual world. And sorry, for one final word, I think brands should also assess the skills they will need, and they need to appoint a capable third-party solution partner to lead the development and execution of a coherent strategy to capture value.
Okay. That didn't sound like a hard question to you at all. I think we have time for one more question. So the next question is, what is your strategy when pushing the brand into the media without causing the consumers to get fatigued with the brand?
Again, that's a very very good question. I will differentiate the conventional media, the traditional media, from the digital media. And when it comes to digital, we have different touch points and platforms that we are leveraging when we build our media plans, and we are mapping them out by leveraging a media planning tool which is called GWI. Again, so we are trying to embrace an data-powered and audience-driven approach when it comes to digital, and you can measure everything. But since we have different walled gardens and different ecosystems like Google, like Facebook, like Snapchat, so they have different, let's say, ads management platforms. So that's why managing the frequency of the campaigns, I think it's the biggest problem. So when it comes to DV360, our demand side platform on the Google side, and we are leveraging the Google marketing stack, marketing platform. So when you run your programmatic video campaigns and your YouTube campaigns, you can manage the frequency. But across all these platforms, you need to be very careful, and you need to rely on the meta-analysis that we run across different markets in order to better understand what is the optimum reach and what is the optimum frequency, in order to avoid I mean, bombarding the consumers with a lot of, let's say, ads and messages. I think that might be my answer.
Amazing. I think that's about it for now. So, thank you so much, Utku and Amer, for answering some of the very, very interesting questions. We have a very good insight into e-commerce and e-business at Nestlé MENA now. So, and a huge thank you to everyone for attending this session. We really hope you enjoyed hearing from our industry experts and feel inspired by their sharing. Digital acceleration plays a big role in sales and e-commerce, and there are always endless opportunities to look forward into, rising commerce channels and sales strategies. Don't forget to catch the next session by Bernard Stefan as he talks about the consumer-centric omni-channel revolution for Nestlé China. And, this is one you really don't want to miss. So make sure to go and click the links on the chat to go directly to the next session. Or you may also go back to the agenda page and join the session from there. Don't panic at all if you've missed any of the Nest level sessions, because the recordings will be up very soon for your personal recapping. Also, I think feel free to share your thoughts about today's Nest level session and tag us on LinkedIn with the hashtag NestLevel2022. Have a great day, everyone, and see you in the next session. Thank you.